So welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's time to install my new gas cap. My tank is on and connected, all the plugs, all the fuel pipes to the new fuel sender unit, the vent lines and the drain lines are all in. So I'm going to take out this cardboard plug, which I used to protect the tank when I was spraying it. So as you can see, this is the Pour 15 finish on the inside of the tank. Now the old gas cap has got a rubber seal, obviously, which if you're going to put this back on, then it just plug and play. Drop it in, you know, put your existing bolts back in and you're good to go. I do not want to use this on the tank. I hate fiddling around with keys to fill up my gas tank. My bikes are always parked in a garage. Or garage, as we say in England. So I'm not worried about gas theft. I'm more concerned about ease of use. So I picked up one of these off of eBay. They're also for sale on Amazon. This is the race caps. This one's got R6 engraved on it. I actually ordered the one without the R6, but they sent me the one with the R6. If I don't want this, I can just spray it black. I'm not huge on badges and logos and crap like that, but some people like it. But it's a nice, it's aluminum, or aluminium as we say in England. It's CNC milled. It's got a threaded cap with a washer to seal, and it lines up perfectly. So in order to put this in, it's super easy. It's just reusing your existing gas tank screws, Allen head screws, which you're going to use 3 of the long ones basically to go through these holes. It's got a rubber seal on this side, but you're not going to reuse the don't worry about reusing this seal. It's not going to work, and it doesn't come with anything other than this rubber seal that seals in the neck of the tank. So it's literally a case of lining it up, dropping it down like so. If I take the camera off, you will see. There you go. So it just lines up with the neck. You're going to put your 3 screws in here, tighten it down, and you're done. That's going to pull that rubber seal here to the neck of the tank. You're not going to get any overflow. And then when you want to fill your tank up, you're just going to unscrew that, which seals down tight, which you can do with gloves on, you know, or just quick unscrew, and you're ready to fill. But that looks pretty nice. I like that. Pretty. So super easy. These things run about between $23 and $30, around $25. But I thought I'd show you that. Converting your gas tank from a keyed one to a race version. So okay, so it's time for the first tank of fuel to go in to the R6's recently restored gas tank with a new race gas, what is that, a gas tank cap, I guess? Yeah, gas cap, there you go. This thing has not run in 7 years. It's not been ridden. I've started it up before I took it home, and it did run. Since then, if you've been following along with the videos, we've got new plugs, new air filters. It's about, you know, new fuel tank, well, not a new fuel tank, a restored fuel tank, and trying to put some fuel in this thing. Check the leaks underneath, make sure the fuel pump is properly sealed, and also make sure the fuel pump works and pumps fuel through the system, and then we'll see if the bike will start. First time in properly in 6-7 years. So I actually hate filling up at the gas stations. I'm not a big fan of public gas pumps, petrol pumps. They always seem to throw that little bit of extra fuel out the spout, and you end up with gas all over your tank, and you're wiping it down, and it's just a pain in the butt. So if I can possibly fill up my bikes at home, I do. So I use one of these. It is a battery powered fuel dispenser. It just takes a couple of C batteries, you stick it in your fuel can, I don't know if you can hear that, switch it on, and it pumps the fuel. So that way I can control my fuel fill and get exactly what I want in. There's no mess, there's no drips, there's no spill. I can do it in my own time. Love it. Obviously, you know, if you're out on a long road trip and you need to fill up with petrol, fill up with gas. You know, it's not a big deal. You got to do it. Just you got to be careful you don't get gas all over your tank, all over yourself. So I do have the hinge bolt in, but it's loose at the front. So with a light, I can inspect the connections underneath. There's nothing leaking there. So now, the moment of truth. Will she start? This is kind of exciting. It is for me anyway. I've put a lot of work into this at this point. So let's see if she'll start. I think that was the fuel pump working and getting fuel into the carbs. Here we go again. Well, that makes me very, very happy. So one more time, while it's running, fuel pump is pumping fuel. I want to check underneath and make sure the fuel lines are all good. All right, looks good to me. Oh man, that sounds awesome. So, a huge thumbs up for me. I'm going to pat myself on the back, go have a beer, and think about what's next. Well, I know what's next. Next is the steel braided race brake lines. So front and rear brake lines. I've got the rear, the front is still on its way to me, but I can get going on the rear now. Once the brake lines are done and the brake fluid's flush, then we can start putting the bike back together with the new fairing kit, which I'm still waiting on the fairing kit to arrive, so So while I'm waiting for my front brake lines, the steel braided lines to arrive, my new tank grip set came. This is the snakeskin gripster tank grips by TechSpec, specifically for the Yamaha R6, so it's kind of what they look like. Because the tank is absolutely fresh, brand new paint, I don't need to clean it. Before you stick these on, you want to make sure the surface is really clean. Wipe it down with some alcohol, let it dry. Make sure there's no dust and grime on the tank or oil or anything. And then just pre-position, peel off the backing, stick them down. So as you can see, this is kind of what you get in the thing. You got side ones, edge ones, and a front tank. So five stickers. 5 grip sets. So that's what's going on next. It'll also protect the tank while I'm working on the bike, giving me a little bit of side protection here and front protection, so if it gets bumped. So I'm going to put those on now and show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright, so a few secrets from someone who's done this before on different bikes. Don't heat these things up. Don't heat your tank with a hot air gun or anything. No heat, no chemicals. Clean it with Windex or alcohol. Make sure it's completely dry. Pre-position everything. So you want to make sure that, you know, when you stick these things down, it's going exactly where you want it. And what I like to do is use a pencil with a very sharp point on a long piece of lead. And when you're happy with its position, just make a little tiny mark on the corners, corner, edge, so that when you lift it off, you'll see a tiny mark where this is going to go back down. So when you peel this off the backing, you can pre-position and know exactly where it's going to go before you basically want to use this motion. Lay it down in its spot, let it down and roll it into place, and then press it down into position. And then it's going to take about a day, 24 hours for the glue to really set up. Now these are removable. If you heat it up with a hairdryer, you can peel it off and do it again. But each time you do that, you're going to lose some of the adhesiveness. So like I said, lay it in position, mark, get it exactly perfectly balanced on where you want it on the tank. Same with the side ones. These side position ones are going to go in wherever you want them. Is that one there? No. There we go. So you're going to mark it, position in the front, in the back, top and bottom, so that it'll be a nice smooth transition from peeling it off to sticking it on. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so here's the first part of the TechSpec tank grips on. Centerpiece. I feel like it's missing a bit here. I mean, you could lower this and bring it down here, but then you'd have less protection on top. And when I'm going hard on the bike, I'm leaning right on top of the tank. My chest is on top of the tank. So if I move this down to here to protect the tank from where my groin is, I'm going to have less protection up here. So I don't know, in some point in the future I'll probably add a piece right here to give the tank some protection and add another piece of rubber. But for now, this is where I want this. And then the side pieces look like that, following the lines of the tank, the rounded edge towards you, and that bottom edge along the molded line of the tank here. And then on the opposite side, there we go. So it says 24 hours for the adhesive to set up. I'm just going to keep some pressure pushing down, making sure there's no air bubbles under here, making sure it's nice and tight. But these actually work really well. You give you a good contact with your knees into the tank for grip. The extra pieces that come go on the fairing, which I don't have yet. So when the fairings arrive and the fairing all goes in, then these will go on underneath, probably like that. So there you go. Super easy. Like I said, I did use a pencil to mark the edges where I wanted just to center everything, and then peel and stick and just keep pressure on for a while, and then hopefully this will glow up overnight. Thanks for watching.